Well, today I'm just gonna do a live stream while riding my bike here. So I hope you folks can hear me. First person that gets on the live stream. So far, zero people. Please let me know if you can hear me, and we shall see what's going on. There's one person. Okay, we got one person watching. Can you write in the comments, Mr. One Person or Mrs. One Person? Can you hear me? Is there a world out there? Are there people around? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Eric, and this is Saturday, April 10th, 2021, and I'm riding my bike around Belgrade. Right now, the waterfront area. So the waterfront area, what does that mean? It means it's a new, really boring complex by the river where I suppose more wealthy people are buying property. So what does that mean? It means that I'll ride my bike through here and I'll check out the stuff that's here, but I'm not particularly inspired by the surroundings. Not so, it just kind of it's not my vibe. But some people, if they want to live in this sort of boring, sort of gentrified area, be my guest. I mean, it's even good that there's an area for, these sorts of boring people who think that they want to live in a city, have an urban life, and want, some sort of completely sterilized existence, and basically have your life emulate American stuff as much as possible. Lots of foreigners are buying property in the Belgrade waterfront, and it is what it is. Can you all hear me out there? Anyways, I'll just assume people can hear me and continue to ride my bike. So, spring is finally here in Belgrade. A lot of you saw the video that I posted yesterday where I made a comedic sort of parody of demanding the government demanding that the government make the city warmer because it's snowing in April is just completely inappropriate. So I'm doing pretty good today. Didn't drink too much yesterday, so no hangover. There's the new Kurac Belgrada, the new city phallic symbol that they're building here. Kind of boring, isn't it? But it's gonna, be a nice little landmark for the city. Seems like they're gonna actually complete it. You never know, because sometimes in Belgrade you have these sorts of places that they start building and then stop. So thank you. Just saw a comment coming in. I can't really look at the comments that much, but I will be looking from time to time. Keep being amazing. So I'm assuming people can hear me, or else they'd probably be telling me that they can't hear me. So here is the new shopping mall. In case everybody has not seen it, this is the new shopping mall. Shopping malls, I used to be really bored by shopping malls and kind of stressed out by the whole existence of them. But as I grew older, I don't know, something happened, and now I just admire the sort of convenience of it. So it's a shopping mall. It's pretty much it. There's shops inside. You can buy stuff, get something to eat, whatever you want. Who cares? I just don't understand the people who like hating on stuff too much. Hate the waterfront, hate the shopping malls, and tour of my country home when I get it. So update on that. Yesterday, the lawyer I hired to do that looked into the situation, and apparently the whole property is not even under the correct name of the people who want to sell it. So it's I don't know, I've seen this before. I think it's usually under the name of somebody who died, and they don't transfer it over because then they would have to pay taxes. I don't really know what it is, but apparently in a month it's going to change So yeah, where do I store my bike? Right, inside my apartment. I live on the first floor, and I just lift it up with my hands up the stairs. If your building elevator is slow, yeah. No, I don't own the property in the country yet, but I will soon, hopefully. Or else I'll buy something else somewhere else. I don't know. I just, like, people are asking, why do you want to buy something all of a sudden? I have never bought property to my name in my life, never before. But times have been good with my IT support business online. And I lost a lot of sort of trust in the financial system in the last year or so, and especially since the start of this year. You know, finding out statistics like that 18% of US dollars in existence were created last year during the pandemic. It kind of just, you know, yeah, no. So it's not that I gained more of an interest. I don't know. So just having money and savings sitting there in, you know, US dollars or euros or British pounds started to seem like a bad idea. So it's like investing in something. Having a home base in the world is important. Yeah. So investing in property is one thing I'm doing. Here we go, the Belgrade Fair. Siam. I am going to Siam. Yeah. So yeah. What? Everything okay? Okay. Something's rotate device. I think it said on the camera. Yeah. So I've invested in two things already, and that's cryptocurrency and gold in storage, basically. And basically, like, it's where you buy gold and they store it for you at a certain location. In this case, it's in the UK because I invested with company money. So there's gold in the UK and some Brinks vault in my company name, just in case the economy goes completely tits up. I suppose I will have that gold, although I haven't seen it. Apparently it exists. And yeah. So cryptocurrency, all right, let me tell you about that. Fiat currency is garbage. Crypto is the future. Seems to be, you know, I was resisting a long time. Yes, I am buying the property in Serbia. I guess you just joined because I am slowly going to be doing that, basically. But it's going to, like, take a while. Anyways, let's go into crypto. I was skeptical because, I don't know, I believed in the fiat currency thing, like, until now. Like, I really believed that it, you know, was like, it always did me well, this whole financial system. But over the past year, it's really been demonstrated that the people who run Western society, at least, don't care about oh, the wind is making it hard to hear. Well, it is what it is. You can enjoy. I guess I'll go slower. Is this where people are getting vaccinated with the vax? I suppose it is. Yeah, this must be. Yep. This is where the vax is happening. Have I gotten a vaccination yet? No, I have not. I'm going to wait and see. So here we are, vaccination. So, all right, so there's less wind now, so I hope you can hear me better. Let me get off the bike and walk a little bit. Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah, I feel less wind around me. So, all right, here we are. So apparently, yeah, this must have been the last concert before Corona came back in style for the winter. Yeah, Corona style. Yeah, let's get a little closer. See this vaccination thing in action. What does it look like at the vax center? What kind of people are lining up for the vax? Because I'm like kind of a wait and see person about this whole vaccination thing. I'm gonna wait a few months. My parents got it. My grandmother, who's 93 years old, she got it. They're happy with their decision. But for me, I don't really trust the medical system. I'm healthy, as you can see, riding my bike around the city. I eat really well, as you've seen from my videos about health food and all that sort of stuff. Really good health food here. You know, I'm not like the reason the pandemic is such a big deal is because people eat so much junk. And the food industry has completely like molested everything that we believe is good food, has become bad food, and all of this high fructose corn syrup, the Coca-Cola and everything like that, really not good. So, oh, you landed in Belgrade yesterday. My vids are part of the reason. Thanks a lot. So that's good. You're welcome for that. And hope you enjoy here. It's a beautiful time to land. This is a beautiful season. Things are getting nice. So this is the vaccination lineup here. These people are following the government advice. I guess I just don't trust the system. Like these pharmaceutical companies, if they need to settle $200 million of lawsuits for people's lives that they destroyed so that they can make $1 billion, they just simply do that. And it's just the cost of doing business, and they don't really care. So the vax is, well, all right. I mean, it's not that tested, but if it gets to like October and the news is good, the vax sort of put life back to normal. Everything's fine now. We can go back to having concerts. No more silly restrictions. Okay, the vaccine in Serbia is from China. No, that's one of them. So there's the AstraZeneca, which is from the UK. There's the Pfizer, which I believe is from Germany, which is made in the US. I don't know. And there's the Sinopharm, which is the Chinese one. And then there's the Russian Sputnik vaccine. So I've been following all this news. But my thing is, like, if October comes and it's like, yep, the pandemic's over, these vaccines were a miracle of science, that they happened so quickly, and we're so good and safe and healthy, and, we really saved humanity from having to live with years of this shit, then I'll take one. No problem. So like September, October time. If it's like another situation where it's like, there's all these new variants of the virus. Now you have to get vaccinated every 3 months or 6 months or every year or something like that. And, it just goes on and on and on. And everybody's still wearing the mask. And everybody said, no. I'm not going to be that into it, because it's just like, the bullshit continues. My immune system's been good because I've been around people who had coronavirus. And, when I was in Mexico, I went to some yoga event, and, it was like a hippie yoga event, and I was in a hippie circle talking about manifestation, and guess what happened to manifest like a few days after that? It was one of the girls got corona, and so I was at that, and 2 days later she's like, I've got corona. I didn't have it, or if I had it, I didn't have any symptoms in my system. So yeah, I think my immune system is good, and I haven't actually gotten sick in years. So I think I could just chew through a little coronavirus very easily. But, a lot of people can't because they eat crappy food. And they are, overweight and obese and don't work out and exercise. Don't use a nice day of sunshine to take their bike and go around the city and, get exercise. And so, that's why people get sick. Yeah, there's a virus. Yeah, there's always been a virus. The people have been getting sick every single year for my entire life, and I used to be one of those people until I figured out, diet, like what not to eat, essentially, and how to have a strong immune system. I eat so many vegetables. The biggest problems in my life is I drink too much water. My big addictions, too much water, and I eat too much vegetables. Sometimes on some days I eat like a kilo of vegetables, like 3 salads or 300 grams of vegetables each time. And basically, why not? Why the hell not? Anyways, if you guys are watching this and you enjoy this sort of thing, you might enjoy my other channel, which is Eric Moot, just my name, ERIK space MUT. And there I'm really sharing a lot of lifestyle type stuff, lifestyle, like this sort of stuff, nutrition, a little bit. I haven't really made that many videos about nutrition, but definitely like tips and tricks that make people successful. Like why I'm always on time for stuff whenever it's humanly possible. Why I keep my word when, I say I'm going to do something, guess what? I freaking do it. This is something that a lot of people just can't really get right in life. And I'm not saying just people in Serbia, although it is pretty socially acceptable here to show up late, not do what you say you're going to do, and all that stuff. I mean, that's a thing here, so yeah. And whatever, guys, like, I just know that I'm from a family, German family from Central Europe, from Bratislava, Slovakia, and we are people who follow our word. And that's why our tribe of people dominate the world, because we have a discipline. We have a sort of like way of getting shit done and following our word and honoring it, and that's who I am and that's what I do. Do I like basketball? No, it's not my thing. Sports are not my thing. Exercise like biking and strength training and stuff like that are my thing. Yoga is my thing, but sports I'm not really that into. I don't know. I'm not really into games, like stuff like that. It's not my thing. But yeah, check out my channel, Eric Moot. It's ERIKMUT. You can subscribe there and you'll see weekly videos of me talking about, I guess the subject is like being a man in the 21st century. Like, okay, so I'm a musician, entrepreneur, food enthusiast, and somebody who spends a lot of time watching like YouTube videos that help me figure out more about life, about philosophy, about humanity, and this crazy mess that we're in called life. And so I think a lot about that stuff, and so I feed back my impressions on that channel about life, a lot of stuff. Then if you are interested in my business, go to Support Adventure. That's my company, and it basically, yeah, that's how I make my money, by finding people jobs in the IT industry and helping IT support companies become better businesses. Better procedures, better give their clients more consistent, better service, stuff like that. Those are my other two channels, basically. And yeah, I would like to see some outdoor yoga get going again soon. Be really good. I mean, this is it, folks. This is that beautiful day in April where everything changes, and here are the guys at the side of the road who have the little bike place. It's really handy. If you've got like something wrong with your bike, need some air in your tires, you just stop here and they help you out. You can give them a little tip. So yeah, here we are. There's the iconic bridge. Yesterday felt like a energy shift, like spring officially arrived. Yes, it did. And I was sitting outside at a patio at a bar in Dorchal, Cafe Dorchal, called Krojac, which is on Francuska, Francuska and what's that street called? Cara Dushana. And I was sitting there with a couple of my colleagues from work, Tal, Anna, and Christina, and basically just sitting on the patio and enjoying life, and really just the gate had opened to the lovely Belgrade that I enjoy. And I really decided that I'm going to go to Asia again in October. But until then, I'm pretty happy being here. But I might take some trips to some other countries like Montenegro, Turkey, and I'm actually thinking of going to Kyrgyzstan. Why Kyrgyzstan? Well, I miss Asia. I'm going to go there in October, but most of the countries in Asia are pretty closed, but this is one where you can go and just have a PCR test and get in without any sort of nonsense, except for the PCR test, which, you think about it, makes sense. If, you want to be on a plane knowing that everybody is negative for coronavirus, or at least reasonably negative like a day before or whatever. So it makes sense. I'm willing to do that. I just don't want to quarantine. I think that's silly. I'm perfectly healthy. Why should I go? But I will actually quarantine if I have to. Hang on, this is just a bike path at this point, so I'm gonna ride. if I had to get into Thailand in October, because I want to be in Thailand. I miss Thailand. There's something about Thailand that I love in a similar way that I love Serbia, because I feel that Serbia and Thailand are both countries that have their own sort of distinct culture that, I don't know, this, I feel free in them because the people are so themselves in both of those countries. Now here I can blend in, you know, I look sort of like the people here, like I've got, you know, Central European and Eastern European blood, and so I look kind of like the people here, but in Thailand I'm always the white guy. But there's something special about going and feeling like a complete foreigner in a society that doesn't trigger me for all my frustration of growing up in the West. Whereas in Serbia, you know, you still have lots of frustration, lots of stuff that triggers me, but it's overall much more relaxed vibe. But Thailand is completely more relaxed, completely like, you know, the Buddhist sort of religion, live and let live. Just really free and really awesome. So I really want to see Kyrgyzstan, I think, is the country I'll visit. Or maybe it'll be one of those ones, I think. Like Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, one of those. Because I want to see where the Slavic world checks out and the East Asian world kicks in. Now, it's a Turkic Muslim society, so, but the people look more like East Asians in Kyrgyzstan and a lot of those places. And Central Asia is very interesting because, yeah, there's a Slavic influence. I will be able to get by with, you know, Russian that I know, which is basically like, I know a lot of words in Russian, like пожалуйста, спасибо, all that stuff, and then the rest you can sort of say in Serbian, and it's kind of similar enough to understand and buy groceries and stuff like that, understand some numbers, even though there's like some key differences. But I've wanted to go for years to Central Asia, and I will go to Kyrgyzstan, check it out. And yeah, Thailand in October, if I can. I wanted to go this past October, but I couldn't. They were just starting to reopen, and it was just way too complicated, so I went to Mexico instead. But I don't like Latin America as much as Eastern Europe or Southeast Asia. I feel like I'm an old world person because I find the narrative of people from Europe came and forced the language on religion on people, and that's the society now. That's kind of the narrative of Latin America, and it's the narrative of North America, except for the differences. In Latin America, the majority of people are mixed between the natives and the Europeans. They're mestizos. Whereas in North America, the majority of people are just European, just white people, and mostly Protestant. Like where I grew up in Canada, in Toronto, in the neighborhood of Rosedale, it was such a Protestant place. So my upbringing from Canada is mostly Protestant, and you know, my father's family was mostly Catholic from Slovakia and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And yeah, okay, so 1/4 of my family was from Eastern Ukraine, so, you know, Orthodox, but I didn't grow up with that influence at all. But, you know, now that I think about it, now that I've been to all the different countries and seen these different types of Christianity and how people behave and think of the religions, Orthodox Christianity is definitely the one that seems most sincere. Yeah, Ontario has a 4-week stay-at-home order. Yeah, fuck Canada. Like, honestly, like, fuck Canada. Fuck the restrictions, and like, I'm not going there for a long time. Until I don't have to quarantine to get into my own country, I will not go there. Talk to my parents every week, every Sunday. Actually, today it's going to be Saturday that we talk, because it's my dad's birthday today. He's also an Aries. My birthday was March 28th. His birthday is April 10th, which is today, and I'm going to call him up in a few minutes with it. They wake up around 6 a.m., so I'll call it 6:30 Toronto time, which is 12:30 Belgrade time, and say hi. So, yeah. I mean, basically, Canada is a very strict country, and I saw all of this coming in. People from Serbia always thought I was crazy to leave Canada, but now I guess you see what I was talking about, why it's like why I feel more free here, why I feel like I can be myself more in this society. When you hear things like, yeah, them arresting a church pastor or whatever for trying to have Easter in his church, like, come on, folks. Like, I think if you look at the way that the corona restrictions have been applied in Canada and the way they've been applied here, the way people react to it, it's clear that Canada is a much more uptight society where there's a lot more authoritarian control over society, a lot more brainwashing and all that stuff. And I saw this coming for years and years and years from, like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, which is why in 2008, I basically decided a long-term life decision to move out of Canada and make Serbia my base, which it was for 3 years, but I was weaning myself off Canada because I still had my IT repair business in Toronto. So I used to go I used to spend September until after Christmas in Toronto and then come here for 3 months around Europe, travel around, DJ, make music here, and then go back to Canada for springtime, like April, May, June, and then come to Europe again for the summer. And so it's 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. And that's where I really got to know the difference between my country and Serbia and the other countries in Europe. The difference between Canada. Yeah. But yeah, COVID accelerated, as well-researched person, hey man. Basically, yeah, I'm glad I helped you move. That's awesome. Lots of people say this, and I guess, I do give some information from a pretty balanced perspective, whereas I think a lot of people always want to take sides in issues too much, whereas I like to entertain contradictory perspectives. And the way business is done in Canada is better than in Serbia. But the way business is done in the United States is better than in Canada. For example, I can say now most of my money comes from American clients. Actually, most of my money right now comes from hiring people in South Africa to do work for companies in the USA. So it's like a complete it's a similar, I started my business with the idea of me wanting to live in Serbia and work remotely doing IT repair. And then I expanded it to the whole world, first going to Asia, then going to Latin America. And then finally last year, right before the pandemic, I visited South Africa. And we just found that so many talented people there were looking for opportunities where they could stay in Africa, but leave anytime as well. And we accept all sorts of people from Africa, people who are of, black, white, Indian background, Chinese. South Africa is a really interesting place. But they have these laws, which are called Black Economic Empowerment laws, which is after apartheid. Okay, well-researched person wants to meet and talk about IT. Yeah, let's have a meeting in the park. On a Saturday, in Studentski one day. And I'll just invite everybody who wants to come and hang out in the park. Anyways, back to South Africa. Yeah. So now they've got actually blatantly racist laws that basically say that if you want any sort of state contract with government or big business, I believe as well, that you need to have, your company needs to be a certain, I think it's 51% black owned, which means that, and you can justify it by saying, well, look at apartheid, that was the worst, but they've essentially they're trying to solve the effect of these previously racist pro-white policies with these racist pro-black policies. And but the long story short is lots of people there who are not of the majority of black Africans there, but they consider South African their home. And I'm talking about Indian people, I'm talking about people who are a mix between European and African descent, I'm talking about, and then, European people who have lived there for 300 years. They're looking for opportunities that, and we also hire black people from there, but, most of the people are of this sort of more multicultural minorities of South Africa, and they're looking for opportunity outside of their country. Because if you work for my company as a contractor and shit goes sideways in Africa, first of all, you're getting money in US dollars, and you don't have to depend on the South African rand and a salary that's calculated in that currency. And yeah, you get a monthly salary in US dollars, and then say things go wrong over the course of the next few months. You can just get on a plane and keep on working your job. For example, you can go with a South African passport, you can go to Russia without a visa, believe it or not. It's easy to get a visa for Turkey and all the Panama as well. We have got several South African people in Panama. And you can just leave the country or you can stay there. But, with the South African guys, we're getting lots of, sorry, I can't work today. My family member, my brother, just got held up at gunpoint and had his whole business robbed or something like that. So it's really and I was down there. It does not feel safe to be there. And I was in the safest part, which is the center of Cape Town, the safest city they have there. So, I don't know. Working for Supportive Venture, my company is like an insurance policy against how life in Africa could get bad, worse. For anybody who's in a minority, or even if you're part of the majority, it's still not a safe country. It's got a murder rate higher than most war zones, which is an interesting thing to think about, isn't it? But, I enjoyed my time there. But after spending 2 weeks there, I got on a plane, and this was the end of February 2020. Got on a plane to Amsterdam and felt a huge sense of relief. I'm safe again, sort of thing. And then I spent 5 days in Belgrade. Then I got on a plane to Thailand and landed in Thailand March 1st, 2020, and got stuck there for a few months, which was great. But this year I just went to Mexico November the 10th and returned to Belgrade January the 10th, and I was just I was thinking of going to Egypt and flying there, but I didn't end up doing it because work got busy with all these South Africans that we were hiring for American companies, and I was, just at home in Belgrade, and I was like, I can ride this winter out. I can kind of live with this until the spring. And thank God, now spring is here. Here we are. The season begins, and the bike rides around the city. It's awesome, and yeah. But moving forward, okay, so we got someone who says, just left to Medellin, Colombia. Way more dangerous than Belgrade. Yeah, totally. Totally. I've been there twice, actually, for the business, because since most of our clients are in the USA, it's kind of awkward to hire people for the USA shifts in general. Not a lot of people want to work night shifts. Okay, so US Eastern time here, 9 to 5 would be 3 until 11 p.m. Belgrade time. Some people like that. If you're a night owl, you don't have to worry about waking up in the morning before 3 p.m. to start work, 2 p.m. and then you start work at 3. That's fine if you're a night owl, can't get to sleep before 4 or 5 a.m. That's a good lifestyle for you. And also the people in South Africa like that evening shift thing because, well, let me just explain it to you. You don't go for a walk after work in Africa in the evening. You don't go for a walk in Africa. I had one guy who worked, he still works for me, in Panama. I visited him and I was staying in a hotel and I was like, okay, so meet me outside of my hotel at 6 p.m. and we'll go for a walk and find somewhere to eat. Beautiful small town in Panama, full of all these expats. And when he showed up, he's like, this is a really new concept for me. You said, meet me out of the hotel and we'll walk around find a place to eat. So we were walking around. He's like, this is really new for me because you don't walk around and find a place to eat in South Africa. But here at Belgrade, you do. You endlessly walk around, bike around, all that sort of stuff. And it's really, really safe. Belgrade is really safe. That's the thing that people don't understand when they hear about Serbia and coming here. Is it dangerous? No. It's not dangerous unless you're an idiot, unless you offend people in a really stupid way. Like I've given some examples on the channel of how to do that, like that Iranian British guy who called a guy's girl up and the boyfriend answered. He said, meet me at Turk Republica at 9 p.m. and we'll have a fight. And then he met me and told me that story. And then I'm like, dude, I'm not going to help you if they find you. And then they found him and I watched him get beaten on the street. He had some teeth problems after that. So that's how you get beaten in Serbia. Luckily, if you're somebody who has respect, like me and most people with a decent upbringing, you won't behave like that and you won't have problems. Like, just, some really basic things like pickpocketing might happen sometimes. My bike has been stolen 2 times over the last 2 years. No big deal. I just get a new bike every time. It's fine. So, all right, we got Alan F. Chef, 2020, May 2020 in Novi Sad. I'm Canadian in Vancouver and it was very safe. Yeah, it's really safe. People are really friendly. They don't try to scam you like most places that you can go in the world that are like kind of like poorer than the West will have this sort of scam aspect to it. Yeah, I'm talking Thailand, Mexico, all of them. You'll find people who will try to scam you. And you need to be street smart. Here you could actually be pretty naive and stupid and still not get scammed. I mean, some people might try to shortchange you or something. But, other countries in Eastern Europe are much worse for that than Serbia is. And, well, whatever. Something about the Balkans, just these old world values. Okay, so I see some people talking about retiring in Serbia. You know what? I basically have settled down in Serbia, soon to buy property. But I think long term I'm going to settle into, well, first of all, my income is all online. And basically, yeah, I'm going to split my time between Southeast Asia and Southeast Europe, basically. Serbia and Thailand, basically. That's awesome. Yeah, a meetup. Let's see how it goes. Not sure to meet up. Don't feel like it today. Kind of got a lone wolf vibe for me today, but maybe in 1 or 2 weeks on a Saturday, can meet up in Studenski Trg, see what it's like. I mean, but it will be a casual sort of thing. Don't look for a video on my channel that says meetup, meetup, meetup. It'll be like, I'll mention it in a video like this, that I will be in Studenski Trg. Because I know I don't want to overtly have a gathering, when gatherings of 5 people, more than 5 people are, against the law. But for me to say I'm going to hang out in Studenski Park and other people come and hang out in Studenski Park, just don't touch me, okay? I'm joking, basically. But I always was someone who washed their hands after shaking hands with people, and now it's kind of like you can be pretty overt about that because of Corona. See, I've got this little pump of hand sanitizer here that you just pump on my backpack here, and I can wash my hands anytime. So we could do a Facebook group or something, Belgrade Beat Expats. Yeah, I'm a member of Belgrade Foreign Visitors Club and Expats in Serbia, a bunch of other Facebook groups, and they tend to be pretty prickly environments, and lots of people know me and respect me in those groups when I post and stuff like that, but still you get the haters. So if you like my style of thinking and all that stuff and want to be in a place that's moderated by me and The people who are rude by my standards, we can make that Facebook group. But otherwise, there's lots of groups like that on Facebook for expats in Serbia, Belgrade expats. I don't know. There's a bunch of them, and I'm on all of them, and they're very useful for communicating with other people, finding stuff out. You know, like I wanted to find fresh curcuma, turmeric is what it's called in English. And immediately people tell you where to find it. There was like Organico, a place in Dorchel, and Metro, which is the huge hypermarket on the other side of the Pančevo Bridge. So I ended up going there, bought it, and discovered Metro, which is actually one of the... if I can't touch you, I don't want to be alive. Okay, I'm not having a gathering anymore if you're going to be weird like that. Just joking, I can put up with a little bit of weirdness, as you've seen from the previous interview with Boyan the nationalist and those types of people, you know, like people who are different than me, who have different beliefs. Fine, as long as you can sit down and have an interesting conversation and talk about it. Yeah, you were joking. Yeah. All right, so meetup. Yeah, we'll do it. Well, not a official meetup, not a big super announced meetup like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I can't remember when, but I had these meetups which were like all sorts of people everywhere, all like dozens of them in a cafe in Dorchel sitting outside. No, it's just going to be me in Studentsky Park with a stick that I can hit people with if they come too close, and beer. Yeah, it's definitely beer. So here we are, Ada. So I've gone all the way from Belgrade waterfront to Ada on this video. I hope it's been interesting for you guys. And you know, I watch a lot of these live streams too on YouTube of YouTubers that I like. One of my favorites is ADV China podcasts, because these two dudes who I see are a lot like me, but they, instead of moving to Serbia, they moved to China. One of them's from South Africa, one of them's from USA. Now they live in the USA, and they get to talk a lot about China and, you know, what goes on there based on their experience as expats from China. So I like their channel. Lots of interesting stuff about Chinese policy and how the government there works and stuff like that. I'm kind of undecided on the whole China thing. Like, I don't know. It's like these countries like Russia and China, people always make a big stink about them being dictatorships or whatever. But when were they ever democracies? And how much are Western countries democracies, right? What does democracy even mean? Is that even like, when did we ever have a democracy? Like, obviously now, if you look at the way Western society works, it's corporate rule, and whoever gets voted in gets so easily co-opted by the corporate companies who control things like the food and the medical system. It's hard to really call it democracy. And so Russia and China have different systems, but you have to respect them in a certain way, right? I respect the Russian system, Vladimir Putin. And I believe that to rule the biggest country in the world that has so many different cultures and ethnic minorities and stuff like that, you kind of have to have a thing that you're doing that's going over the society and ruling it. And you need to... Democracy means you can't leave your house. Yeah, exactly. Now it does. I've seen videos of friends of mine who are in like Russia now, and it's fucking popping, man. Like, there's nightclubs open, all that stuff. I would go to Russia if I didn't have a Canadian passport and need a visa, but I do. So yeah, maybe I still will go to Russia because, well, I love Russia. I love Russian culture. I mean, it's not as much for me as Serbian because I'm Central European by my father's side of the family. I'm more in touch with the Central European Slavic vibes, former Austro-Hungarian Empire, you know, up to Belgrade sort of vibes. But Russia is very interesting. I've got 1/4 of my blood from the Russian Empire. My mother's father was Ukrainian. They moved to Canada in 1914. And I have a lot of respect for Russia. And yeah. And Belarus, I was there in Belarus last July and August. Because it was at the time the country where I could go without any sort of PCR test, quarantine, anything like that. So I went to Belarus, and I was there in the time leading up to their election. I was there for the day of the elections, and I left the day after the elections. There was no restrictions, no big deal. There weren't bodies piling up on the street. And if you look at the rate of virus, it's not that bad. Also, if you look at the rate of virus in Florida versus California, Florida has not had a lockdown in the United States, and California has had one of the most brutal, authoritarian, economically crippling lockdowns. And look at the difference. Look at, like, the rate of virus is exactly the same. Basically, 91,000 per million people, 91,000 cases per 100 million people in Florida and California, and Florida has a much older population, so these lockdowns do not work. And it's time that we all realize that. I'm hoping that, now that these big Pfizer companies and stuff have made their billions off of the vaccines, they'll just let us live our fucking lives again and stop, forcing the governments to do these lockdowns, whoever's calling the shots here. I mean, I understand also the thing, you see the hospitals filling up and stuff like that. And it's obvious that in Serbia, they're really trying to have a balanced approach for letting people live their lives and keeping the hospitals from filling up with people. Yeah, it's a bad situation. What are you going to do? But the lockdowns have not actually proven. If you compare, like I said, Florida to California, lockdowns have not helped. The virus is out there anyway. Best thing you can do is eat your turshia, zimnica, whatever you call it, fermented vegetables, eat your yogurt, eat your fresh fruits and healthy meats and whatever. Just cut down on the processed carbs, the bread, the high fructose corn syrup, the shit that makes you fat, candy, soft drinks like Coca-Cola. Cut down on that shit and lose some weight, get some exercise, live a healthy life, and then you will not suffer the effects of coronavirus. But lockdowns are not seeming to help people not get coronavirus. So I hope by next winter people have looked at what happened in the places that locked down versus the places that didn't lock down and just kind of agree. And after all the vaccine companies have made their billions, let's just say, okay, we'll leave these people alone and let them run their businesses, let them go and enjoy time with their friends and stuff like that. I hope that will be the case. And, it seems like Serbia will be exposed to sun. What am I doing right now? Yeah. Sun, yeah. So I have been supplementing vitamin D. I do take 10,000 IU a day, which is controversial, but, it feels good. And it really keeps your mood up in the winter. And I have been taking zinc and vitamin C. And I take all that stuff, do everything I possibly can to be as healthy as possible. Yoga twice a week, strength training, riding my bike on the weekends, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be fine, everybody. I just have a huge amount of pity for people who actually don't research their own life and just do eat all the junk that the people around them eat, that just spend all their money in silly ways, get fat. And this is one of the reasons I live in Serbia, is because I feel people here are closer to what matters in life, and that's having friends, eating well, enjoying your life. Whereas in the West, everybody's brainwashed, and now they've been brainwashed to be super afraid of leaving their houses and stuff like that. Whereas, despite the fact that it's shown that places that are doing that are not any better than places that are not, like Belarus or Sweden. It's just the same. There's a virus that's going around, and that's pretty much it. Protect yourself. Take reasonable precautions. I don't really mind wearing a mask. I got my little mask around my neck, put it on when I'm supposed to, getting on the bus or whatever, going in the supermarket, whatever. Yeah, fine, that's fine. I can do that, but I'm so glad that there's no law here that you have to wear the mask on the street. They tried it one day, announced it was going to happen. I think it was in November or October, and they retracted that within a couple hours because everyone's like, nah. But in places like Turkey, it is a law, and you'll have police with automatic weapons standing on the street telling you to put your mask on, even when I was in Turkey, I was following the same policy as here, where I would just walk down the street like this without a mask on. And nobody really cared. Just on some of the main streets there were police and they asked you to put your mask on, and I was just like, okay. Put it on for like a minute, walk a block, and then take it off again. So, yeah. Countries in the EU, a lot of them have mask mandates for masks in public now, which is ridiculous. So, yeah, this is 2021. I hope everyone's having fun. I don't have any regrets for last year because I really got in a lot better shape. Like, started working with a personal trainer for the first time in my life and learned how to do the bodyweight calisthenics. I continued that through my time in Mexico, now over the winter at the Forest Gym, which is in Palilula on Tarkovska. And basically, I'm healthier now than I ever have been before, and it is in part thanks to being locked down in Thailand last year at that personal trainer's Airbnb and having his gym there, getting into that with him as my trainer. And basically I just yeah, it's pretty well set up for the rest of my life now, folks. I can't stop doing the strength training. Got some decent amount of muscles on my body now. Feeling good, feeling healthy, happy, getting more successful, wealthy, whatever. Gonna buy property in Serbia. Things are looking good for me from here. I just, a lot of people just listen too much to what other people think and live their life based on that rather than their own research. But I do my own research on YouTube. I like to put out this content. So it's 51 minutes of this whole thing now. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks a lot for watching. It's been great. I hope to see some of you soon. I will announce very casually on the channel that I will be at some point going to Studentsky Turg at some point to have some beers at some point. And I hope you guys will walk by. Just don't touch me. We can bump fists or something and then I'll hand sanitize my hand. I'm always taking the middle ground on things. I'm not afraid of Corona. I'm not afraid of Corona. I take reasonable precautions and just like, whatever. Do my part to whatever. But I won't stop living my life. And you shouldn't either. So, thank God it's a beautiful spring day in Belgrade. I will catch you guys later. Thanks a lot, Eric, on Lake Ada, the fake man-made lake. And off we go into the beautiful spring of Belgrade. I'm going to get back on the bike and probably do another 30 kilometers today. Maybe only 20, but lots. So, yeah. Don't believe all the noise. Don't believe the hype. Live your best life. Whatever. Eat well. Eat lots of vegetables, meat. Wash your hands after you touch people. I don't know. Just live your life. Enjoy the spring in Belgrade. And hopefully by September, October, it will be clear whether these vaccines have worked to eliminate the coronavirus and we can live our freaking life, and I can go off to Thailand and maybe get a vaccine, maybe not. Who cares? Okay, now you guys are getting into discussing conspiracy theories on the chats, which, whatever. Serbian girlfriends are the best. I disagree. I've made videos about that before, so you can see those. One of them was on Anna's channel. Slovak girlfriends are pretty good. Ukrainian girlfriends can be good. Serbian women tend to be way too complicated. Anyways, I'm trying to sign off. I'm trying to, get out of the virtual reality and get back to this reality in Belgrade today. So, yeah. Beautiful Belgrade. Spring, April 10th, 2021. Gonna have some fun. Call my dad, it's his birthday, so I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. And we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. And maybe I'll be in Studentsky Turg and live streaming from there. And you guys can come. Hang out. Bye, guys.